had an absolute disaster in his second heat, but he won at a counter in the first. So it's definitely going to be a tough week for these guys to make comebacks. But we've got Dylan Tan and Kimi Chan on the front row of the grid from Aaron Garcia and Otto Pikkanen. Then Mark Svarage and Toby Gale. Wook Ga-yu and Sai Cheng Yang from Liu Yude and Warapong Yamchan. Then Wang Hee-lin and Chung Jun-hao from Rafael Weissen and Clifford Ganjanapas. Chong Yin-yip and Sierra Kojima. Then Jackson Susan Harlow and Zachary Boyce from Lucy Yu and Miguel Quinones. Xi Jintong, Jose Sato, Maria Yang, Rui Sato, Zhong Yunshuan, Paco Miguel Sarmiento and Yang Jimo to round out the field. It's going to be a tough one out there.
第3排起步的车手将会是230号车手马克兹瓦里奇，他在昨天第2轮预赛时拿到了亚军的成绩。那么在他身旁起步的将会是251号车手的托比盖尔。那么在他们身后231号车手吴佳瑜以及238号车手蔡晨阳将会分别从第7和第8位来起跑。卢佑德将会从第9位出发，而在他身旁的将会是 M 维昌。我们现在看到的是所有选手马上将会来到赛道的最后一段。 所有车手呢将会进行2×2的一个编队，我们来关注到头排起步的车手吉伦灿和陈玉琪是否会在发射阶段为我们奉献精彩的表现。
Repeater light already. It's already a false start because the positions were nowhere near ready and set. So the drivers now have to put themselves back into the positions once again and prepare for another crack at the top spots. So they go round one more time for a false start. But certainly for Dylan Tan and Kimi Chan, this is a great opportunity to add some victories to their tally. But Aaron Garcia is already a race winner, so too is Otto Pikkanen this week. But both of them have a win and a DNF, so it's not good news for either of them in terms of the overall. One thing that a DNF does give them today, of course, is fresher tyres going into race 3, 4 and 5. If you retire from a race in Senior X30, it's a negative in terms of the points argument, but it's a positive in terms of the condition of the tyres, because your tyres will go further. So retiring from one race, it disadvantages you in terms of your points tally, but it advantages you in terms of the tyre life for the remainder of the qualifying heats. Don't forget, you only get a couple of sets of tyres with a whole week, so you've got to make sure that they last as long as possible, and they start working from qualifying. So it's a very tricky one out of the final turn into the 2 tram lines. Are we going to go racing this time? Yes, we are. Good start from Dylan Tan. Right in there with Aaron Garcia. There's already nudging further back behind them as the drivers try to work their way through turn 1 without incident. Everybody's through cleanly. Tan is going to lose out to Garcia. They're in a wrestling match, and Tan's got in front again. Garcia's on the run wide as up into second position comes the hard-charging Mark Svarage. Great start from Svarage up into P2 as he works his way forward. Now he goes for the lead. Svarage is there. Brilliant from Mark Svarage. Excellent work in turn 2 and in turn 4 as Svarage hits the front. Garcia is trying to wrest it back from around the outside. No way is he going to pull that off. He has to hang back in second position. But already Garcia is going for it now, diving up the inside of Garcia. That is Wook Ga-yu. He wants to move on the inside. Garcia back to second as Kimi Chan gets back into it. Excellent racecraft on the first lap. And up the inside, that's Toby Gale. Toby Gale comes through for 3rd place. What an opening lap.
起步之后的第一圈，我们看到多车队领先的位置产生了争夺。现在马克兹瓦里奇是上升到了领先的位置，而阿隆加西亚洛佩兹在比赛的初期一度是取得领跑，但是在和马克兹瓦里奇的多弯的缠斗当中，目前呢是守在第2的位置。托比盖尔现在是排在第3。目前我们可以看到，托比盖尔现在是要对身前的车手来发动进攻。陈雨琦目前是重新回到了第4的位置。
Easily the opening lap of the week so far. We've got a Parolin, a Berylot and a Kart Republic in the top 3 as Sai Cheng Yang, the 33-year-old from Chinese Taipei, wants to move on the inside of Kimi Chan. Can he get there? He's done it! What a move from Sai Cheng Yang! That is a beautiful overtake on Kimi Chan. It's held them all up, but he puts him into 4th position. The 33-year-old has worked his way forward on the FA Kart as Kimi Chan now backs into the pack. Pikkanen 6th from Wu Liu. Susan Harlow way up in P9. What a rocket launch from Jackson Susan Harlow. Already up into 9th position, right in the heart of the top 10.
上一圈我们看到的是来自中国台北的选手蔡晨阳，是对于陈玉琪发动了一次非常有力的进攻，并且是完成了超越，上升到全场第4的位置。而我们看到在领先集团托比盖尔 也是完成了对于阿伦加西亚洛佩兹的超越。上一圈托比盖尔也是做出了47.914的全场最快单圈。现在他也将自己的目光转向目前处在领跑位置的马克·祖瓦里奇。祖瓦里奇在取得领跑之后，并没有能够抛开身后的选手。这边车手们来到了最后的一弯，可以看到托比盖尔距离前方的祖瓦里奇已经是非常的接近。
Two brilliant young ties racing here. Mark Svarage from Phuket, Gale from Pattaya. He's going to get the inside line. Toby Gale hits the front for the first time in this one. And so the Birolart takes the lead away from the Paralin. Toby Gale and Mark Svarage, two drivers who grew up on the beautiful streets of Thailand, battling their way at the front end of the field as Aaron Garcia is being caught by Sachin Yang, the veteran of this category, 33 years of age, riding behind Garcia. He wants a piece of this, and he's going hell for leather. Great stuff from him as the man from Chinese Taipei tries to close in on Garcia. But Toby Gale now leads Svarage. The roles are reversed, but as they come through at the end of the hairpin, 4 laps into this race, 8 still to go. Toby Gale has got the advantage on both pace and gap to have the confidence, but Kimi Chan is still going quickly. He's got a chance now to get back on terms here with Sachin Yang. It's Sachin Yang is going to be vulnerable on this lap, then Kimi Chan is ready to pounce. Pikkonen is in 6th place, and Susan Harlow is now up in a 7th position. Jackson Susan Harlow is gunning through this field like the missile in Mario Kart.
托比盖尔在上一圈是对马克·祖瓦里奇发动了进攻，并且完成了超越，目前上升到领先的位置。祖瓦里奇现在依然是处在第2位，而蔡晨阳在超越这个陈玉琪之后呢，现在也是已经开始追击身前的阿伦加西亚洛佩兹。现在领先集团呢，这个车阵呢是已经延续到了第6和第7位。而我们这边看到，应该是陈玉琪目前呢是做到全场最快单圈47.230，奥特皮克宁现在是处在第6位。
Very tough stuff now for Kimi Chan. He's got to try and pick his moment here on Sachin Yang. As up the inside goes Garcia. Garcia gets in a second past Mark Svarage. So Aaron Garcia returns to P2. He's got a win and a DNF in his pocket, so he really needs another win. Up on the inside, Kimi Chan launches in on Sachin Yang. Lovely racecraft between those two, but Kimi Chan back up ahead of the Chinese Taipei superstar. P6, Otto Pikkonen is closing in. Susan Harlow's got Liu Ye De for company. So there's a lot of battles still to come in this one. We're not even halfway through just yet. Toby Gale trying to get away from Garcia. But Aaron Garcia really does have big pace and big confidence here in Macau. Over the line once again. He's going to try and charge after Toby Gale. One of the best X30 drivers in the world, Aaron Garcia. Now he's got to try and take on Toby Gale as Pikkonen gets his move on Sachin Yang. Great work from the Finn on the croc chassis. Great to see them here in Macau. Garcia has closed up. Will this be the overtake? Well, it will be from Kimi Chan. Chan gets the move on Svarage. That's P3.
陈玉琪现在看起来是重新找回了比赛的节奏，他是先后完成了对于蔡晨阳以及马克·祖瓦里奇的超越。现在陈玉琪呢是重新上升到第3的位置，而我们看到奥托皮克宁现在也是追到了这个领先集团，而目前处在第7位的杰克逊苏斯林，他是从第17位起跑，现在他是已经来到了全场第7的位置，并且有机会进一步追击身前的对手。而目前看到比赛进入到半程阶段，托比盖尔依然是处在领先的位置，而阿隆加西亚洛佩兹在完成了对于马克·祖瓦里奇的超越之后，现在将在2号弯发动进攻。这边看到阿隆加西亚洛佩兹是完成了对于托比盖尔的超越，是上升到了第1的位置。
Garcia on Gale, he gets the lead, and now Toby Gale is going to have to try and fight back with the Spaniard. Aaron Garcia hits the front for the first time since the opening lap as Aaron Garcia works his way forward up into his 2nd race win potentially of the week. It should be 3, but Lady Luck tore him a real heartbreak in the first race of the week. He was leading when the engine failed yesterday. Now he's got himself a lead once more. Aaron Garcia determined that this week is going to belong to him. The Spanish charge flying around this circuit. 17 years of age. He's got such great confidence as now that's Pikkonen in front of Svarage. So Otto Pikkonen has now got ahead of Mark Svarage. That's him in the 4th position. He's in exactly the same boat as Aaron Garcia, don't forget, because Pikkonen won his first heat and then he couldn't even finish the second one after being caught up in that red flag incident. Kimi Chan gets past Toby Gale. So Kimi Chan now back in a 2nd position. Now we're going to see something electrifying. Garcia versus Chan, the king of Europe versus the king of Asia. Bring it on.
陈芋琪在这一圈是再度提升了名次，他是完成了对于托比盖尔的超越，现在是上升到了第2的位置，并且目前我们可以看到全场前3位的车手呢是处在领先集团。陈芋琪现在是要来追击身前的阿伦加西亚洛佩兹。对于洛佩兹来说，他在昨天的第1回合的预赛当中呢，并没有特别好的运气，他是发生了机械故障，但是在第2轮的预赛呢是卷土重来。他现在呢是希望在第3轮预赛当中取得个人的第2场预赛的胜利。但是对于陈芋琪来说，他也是希望来获得本周末个人的第1场预赛的胜利。现在可以看到，托比盖尔虽然是目前落到第3的位置，但是依然距离身前的陈芋琪和阿伦加西亚洛佩兹是非常的接近。而在后方，我们看到奥托皮科宁在上一圈是过掉了马克兹瓦里奇，现在是处在第4的位置，他也是在不断的追击身前的3位选手。
Aaron Garcia has won everything there is to win in X30 except for the Supernats in Las Vegas and the Asia final in Macau. This is his task here this week. He's won the IWF, he's won the European Championship title, he's won the Winter Cup. Now he's going at it hammer and tongs, and he may get some assistance here because Kimi Chan is back on the warpath with Toby Gale. He looks over his shoulder, he knows that Kimi Chan is there. Oh, and that's an off. That's one of the Tony karts that's come off the road there on the far side. So that is on the approach to the final sector. So we're about to go into yellow flag zones here. Kimi Chan's going to have to wait for his overtaking move. So I'm not sure exactly who it is that's gone, but we have lost Maria Yang. She's out of the race, and it looks like we've got another retirement amongst them as well. So Toby Gale waiting for the green flag section. Now we've got it. Can he get back on terms with Kimi Chan? We go into the final tour.
比赛即将进入到最后一圈，我们现在看到阿伦加西亚洛佩兹依然是处在第1的位置，陈芋琪目前处在第2，而后方的托比盖尔，看一下他会不会选择在2号弯发动进攻。托比盖尔在2号弯杀入到内线，完成了对于陈芋琪的超越。托比盖尔是重新上升到第2的位置，而陈芋琪看一下有没有机会来完成反击。2位车手的争斗也是让后方的奥托皮克尼是追了上来。这边看一下陈芋琪进入到弯角之后出弯，两人在这似乎发生碰撞，后方的奥托皮克宁杀入到内线，奥托皮克宁是超越了陈芋琪，上升到了第3的位置。
Gale gets ahead of Chan and then puts the brakes on. He stops Kimi Chan in his tracks, and that's enough to allow Otto Biggener to sneak through into 3rd position. Kimi Chan will be hopping mad with rage, but for Aaron Garcia, his mission is still on track. Checkered flag is in the air. Aaron Garcia continues his brilliant speed and week. What a performance. Garcia from Gale, Biggener, Chan, and Luyude, with Susan Harlow in front of Mark Svarage, Dylan Tan, Wang Yilin, and Sai Cheng Yang. What a brilliant continuation for Aaron Garcia. 2 wins out of 3, with every chance of making it 3 out of 4 later this afternoon.
新业成年组 C 组和 E 组的第3轮预赛，我们看到阿伦加西亚洛佩兹是成功的实现了个人的预赛第2胜，他是领先于后方的托比盖尔。托比盖尔呢是在最后一圈完成了对于陈芋琪的防守，托比盖尔最终是以第2位冲过终点线，而奥托皮科宁是在最后一圈抓住机会，超越了陈芋琪，是上到了第3的位置。陈芋琪最终以第4位完赛，而卢佑德在比赛的后半段是成功了提升了非常多的名次，最终是以第5位完赛。而从第17位起步的杰克逊苏斯林，最终呢是上升到了第6的位置。马克兹瓦里奇是以第7位完赛，迪伦灿是获得第8，王鹤林是收获第9，而排在第10位的是蔡晨阳。